Hello, hello. So, I wanted to try this out. I wanted to try this out. I had a mobile stream early on in the day, right? I had a mobile stream early on in the day. Um, I had a mobile stream early on in the day, and I wanted like it kind of like was a TikTok thing where I asked a question or I wanted to start a conversation, right? I wanted to start a conversation um about weather, okay? Or well, maybe not weather, but how I believe how I believe that modern day Western women should stay single forever. I believe modern day Western women should stay single forever. I believe that again, women in the West are unfit to be in long-term monogamous relationships with you know with I don't know, men nowadays. I don't think women are in general, right? I don't think women are capable of being in long-term committed relationships with men. I don't believe women in the West, I don't believe modern day women are capable of being in long-term committed relationships with men. So that is my argument. I'm going to put a link. I'm going to put a link in the chat. I mean, if anyone disagrees, you could always join. You can mic up. You don't have to cam up, but please mic up. Please mic up. So the prompt, right? The prompt, as you can see, all right? Modern Western women should stay single forever. Prove me wrong. I believe that modern Western women are unfit to be in long-term monogamous relationship. I just think that things have changed. Women have changed, but they have changed for the worse. Women have changed for the worse that made them unsuited to be in long-term committed relationships. I'll probably say it again if anyone decides to join. I don't know if anyone's going to decide to join, right? Because like I said, I did a mobile live, right? A live stream of this. You can see it on my my channel earlier today. And I had a few people who wanted to, debate or come on and actually talk. But I did it on my phone, so you couldn't. I couldn't have anyone join. That's just the difficulties of YouTube, right? So I figured, I want to see if there's actually anyone that actually want to have a conversation about the idea. Because again, I think modern day Western women are unfit. They're incapable. Not all, again, not all. None of my views are about 100% people, right? Not even every woman in the West. No, not every woman, but controversially, I believe majority. I believe the majority of modern day Western women are unfit, incapable of being in long-term committed relationships with men. I honestly believe that they're incapable of it. They're just unfit, right? We've recently seen this. I don't know about you, but recently, right? It's been been going viral. It's been going viral on TikTok about this UK Vogue article, right? UK Vogue article where essentially it says having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Now, whatever the article says, it's the reaction that I'm talking about, right? It's the reaction that I am talking about. Yeah, it's the reaction I'm talking about. How we have a lot of women saying that, yeah, having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Having a boyfriend is embarrassing, right? That you might as well you're better off single. That is the view of a lot of women right now, right? Or a lot of women online. A lot of women online. Plus, you gotta think also, in maybe a decade or so, women have been promoting, they're strong, independent, they don't need no man. Okay. Along with that, women have been, for the longest time, women have shown such an immense amount of hate towards men. Um, and again, like the Vogue article saying having a boyfriend is embarrassing. And then many online women are agreeing with it. Now, again, prove me if I'm wrong. If it's only online women, I think it's the majority of women, right? I think the majority of women in the West look down on having a man, right? A majority of women in the West are looking down on having a man. Now, whatever you believe, please, come up and I don't mind having a conversation. But that feeds into my argument. How I believe if so many women hate having a man, so many women are embarrassed with having a boyfriend. Okay. So many women want to promote being single. Well, then, okay. I'm like, hell, there was a time where women were promoting, the 4B movement. 4B was like it's like a kind of a niche group in Korea where women just, opt out of dating. And then you have women also in the West saying, oh, I'm opting out of dating. And then you have women saying that, you got to decenter men. Okay. Great. Then you also have older women saying, oh, like being single is the best, right? I'm single and childless, right? It's the best thing ever. Men are a headache. Men don't bring peace. Men are chaotic. Okay. We also have a study from Goldman Sachs saying that by 2030, over 45% of women will be single and childless, right? Over 45% of women will be single and childless. Awesome, right? Fine. If that is what it is, I mean, again, it's just, for me, it just goes to show you that is the path. That is what Western women are heading towards. So that's why I support it. I support modern day Western women stay single forever. Just opt out of the dating market, because here's the problem. Okay. We're having this problem where these types of women who with this, in my honest opinion, a very toxic mindset. You hate on men. You say you don't need men. You barely want men. You say a whole lot of crap about men. And then you still stay in the dating market. Guess what type of men you are attracting, right? You ain't attracting good men, right? You're not attracting good men. You are attracting toxic men. You are attracting men that don't give a shit. They don't care if you hate men or not, because they just look to pump and dump. So again, it's a cycle. So these hateful women hateful women, these honestly um, miserable women, these jaded women, these combated women, hate on men, but stay in the dating market trying to look for a man. Well, you're just going to attract toxic men. I've said this before. I think toxicity attracts toxicity, right? So, you know, no duh, you're going to prove yourself right. You're going to prove yourself right that, oh, all men are terrible, right? There's no good men out there. Men are liars, men are cheaters, men are not monogamous. Men know how to manipulate. Guess what? It is your fault. You attract these shitty men because honestly, you are a shitty person. You are a shitty woman. So no duh. If you are toxic women, you are going to attract toxic men. And we don't talk about it. So for me, instead of women gaining more trauma through dating shitty men, why not just tell women to completely opt out of dating? Tell women to just completely stop dating, right? Tell women to stay single, stay happily single for the rest of your life, right? Women are saying that, oh, I'm focused on myself, right? I can pay my own bills. I have my own car. I have my own job. Women are saying this online. Women are saying how amazing their life is, right? The only thing bad is dating. Well, guess what? If dating is the only thing bad for you, if you take that away, that means you have nothing bad in your life. So really, women should just opt out of dating, right? Stop dating. So then you don't have nothing bad in your life, right? You said your friendships are great, your family relationships are great, your job is great. But if only dating is bad, and it's honestly because of you, that's why it's bad, right? Dating is bad because of you. Well, then why not opt out of dating? Just stop dating. I can never understand how, if you are a miserable person, right? Plus you have terrible vetting, picking skills. Well, then you are better off single. You are better off not dating, right? I believe a lot of these women are better off just not dating because they will honestly just be, they will be miserable people. Because this is a thing where, let's say these women continue to date, right? They continue to stay in the dating market. Well, guess what? Over time, as they get older, they get more trauma, right? Of course, dating one shitty man after the next shitty man, guess what? You are just going to gain trauma. You are just going to become a more jaded person, a more combative person, a more terrible person. So guess what? Why I say older women are red flags, because as time goes on, these older women just gain more trauma. They just become worse to be with. So that is why, I say I think modern day Western women should stay single forever. They are unfit to be in the dating market, and over time it just gets worse. Women just get worse over time to be with. Women don't get less trauma over time, right? If they're lucky, if women are lucky at best, they stay consistent. They stay consistent with their trauma. Okay? They're not gaining more trauma. They're not, trauma is not, disappearing, but they're not gaining trauma. So they stay consistent. But more often than not, they gain more. So why I say as women get older, they become bigger red flags. Because they get more jaded. They get more combative. They get more angry with the world. They get more bitter with the world. They become more miserable people. So, yeah, that is my my thoughts. I don't know how long I will continue because, again, like I said, earlier today, I did a live stream. Right, I did a live stream about this topic. Right, about this talking point. And I had a lot of people on that live stream saying, that live stream got a decent amount of views, right? That live stream got a decent amount of views. It got like 300 views, right? It got 300 views. So, and a lot of people on it said that they wanted to, they wanted to mic up and have a conversation. Like I said, right? You don't have to, cam up, right? You don't have to cam up. You don't have to, you know, you don't have to turn on camera. Just, please, you know, please mic up, have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? So, I just wanted to say that I'm going to try to start some of this unique. I honestly believe that Western women should just stay single. I think Goldman Sachs did a study a while ago that said 45% of women will be single and childless by 2030, and I think that's a good one. I think women, Western modern women, right? So it's very distinct. Western modern women should stay single. These are women that are miserable, right? These women are miserable. These women are illogical. They're not, honestly, they're not that smart. They're very emotion based. These are feminists. These are selfish women. They don't have relationship skills. These women are incompatible to be in relationships. Modern day Western women are incompatible to be in relationships. They are just not good partners. They're not good partners. A lot of these, in my opinion, okay, women have changed, but they changed for the worse. While men have adapted, men have gotten better, in my opinion. Men have gotten better, in my opinion. Men have become better partners in the sense that not all men, of course, not all men, but I think a lot of men have adapted. So there has been studies where more and more men are being active in childcare, right? So they're taking care of their kids. More and more men are active in domestic work. So men are cooking, men are cleaning, men are contributing more than just finances. So more and more men are adapting. They're changing to be better men. What's up? What's up, my brother? Roar. What's up? What's up? No. See if anyone agrees with me. See if anyone disagrees with me. Like I said, we need to promote modern Western women to stay single forever. I think modern Western women are incompatible to being in a long-term relationship. And there's a study. There's a study a while back. You guys can Google it. Fact check me. There's a study a while back that women get bored easier in long-term relationships. So women, in my opinion, modern-day women are not fit to be in long-term relationships. That's why you see the marriage rates, right? You see the high divorce rates. You see high divorce rates. You see low marriage rates, right? I don't disagree, but I'm not going to act like you are the kind of specimen I'll suggest any woman to procreate with. No offense. Hey, bro, like seriously, like I'll say this. What makes a man worthy to procreate with? If you're saying looks, if you're saying superficial qualities, then hey, it is what it is. This is the problem where we have women are they emphasize superficial qualities over everything else. More women care about looks, more women care about height, more women care about the level of wealth you have. Okay? Instead of stability, women don't really care about stability, women don't really care about character, women don't really care about morality.
I mean, once they date the better looking man, the top 20% of men, now after they got that man, now they care about his morality, his character, his personality, right? And that's the thing where it shows you that women are messed up, right? Women don't understand what it takes to be in a long term relationship anymore. So women don't have the same values anymore. What women say incel? I never said that I have a problem with finding women. Right? So again, I'm not celibate by choice, right? I'm not. So that is weird. No offense at all. Are you a gay? Are you gay by chance? Does it? Here's the thing. If whether I'm not, I do have kids, and I've been in long term relationships with only women. But here's the thing. I'll say this. I hate the thing where whether whatever my sexuality is does not make it where my words are less of an impact. I mean, I always say this. It's a woman. It's women's ideology where they attack the person, not the words. So this is a problem we have where how about talk about the topic, talk about the words, right?
This was a stream early on today. Okay, I did it on my phone. I had a few people wanting to, actually come on and debate or have a conversation of the topic. Right? Again, tonight's topic. Prove me wrong. I believe modern day Western women should stay single forever. Again, I mean, you guys don't have to cam up, right? You don't have to be on camera, right? But I mean, if you want to mic up, right, and have a conversation, I'm down. I'm down. If you don't believe, if you have a disagreement, if you disagree, it's okay. I'm ready to, show you my, put across my point of view, see, because honestly, I think modern day Western women are unfit to be in long term relationships. Right? I honestly believe that not all women, not all Western women. I believe the majority of them are. Right? I believe the majority of them are. The majority of them are unfit to be in long term relationships. Right? So.
Then you cannot really. It shows you that you have weak ideology. You have weak ideology, weak mindset. Right? You're showing us all how retarded you are. Please tell me how. Please tell me how. I mean, literally, nothing you said really show it. Just let him have his opinion. I mean, yes, it's an opinion, right? Again, it's only an opinion, right? I mean, this is why I'm creating a dialogue. If you have a opposing opinion, cool, right? But if you don't, okay, I mean, that's fine too. But a lot of people don't have a good opposing opinion. You are definitely right. There's really no argument. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, what's up, all? What's up, everyone? Yeah, Nancy. You know, this is the thing where Nancy Tong said it right. True, I am right now. This is the thing. It's not that I'm saying this to say that women are terrible, right? Women are terrible and they need to be single. No, I think modern day Western women they are not they're not in the mindset. They don't have the I don't know personality, the morality, the upbringing to be you know right to be in a relationship, right? At least not with a long term relationship with men. Okay. Now this is why we're seeing the growing population in situationships, right? We see situationships. I believe women have pushed and created hookup culture, right? Situationships have come out since feminism. Hookup culture has come out since feminism. Roster.
Again, I mean, I think sadly, women have destroyed dating for themselves. I mean, you got to think, okay? It has been shown that women are suffering from it. Sadly, they're suffering from their own actions. Feminism, I mean, this is probably another kind of topic, right? It's a different topic, but feminism has been a detriment for women, right? It's just made dating worse for women. Like I said in that again, tonight's topic, right? If you broken Berlin,
Hey, am I coming through clear?
Yes, my brother. What's up?
No, great topic. I've been watching for about the last 10 minutes and figured I'd just come on for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, anyone else, if you guys have a disagreement or whatever, please join. Yeah, tonight's short topic. I don't know how long it will be, but I believe modern day Western women should stay single forever. They are unfit. They have a ideology that honestly makes them unfit to be in a relationship. What are
Okay,
your
but
thoughts?
would you not say that would why would they not apply to Eastern women?
Okay, well, I mean, again, one, I don't. Let's say Eastern women. I think it's a difference in mentality. So we are. I mean, in general, I'm not like living in the East, so I wouldn't say I 100% know it. But from what I do have gathered is that they're not spouting out. Oh, they don't need no man. They're strong, independent. They can do everything on their own. The mentality is that they're not looking for you have to be such an amazing man for them to even look at you, right?
Are we
So that's
are
how
we
I
speaking
see it
about
as.
Japan and China?
Well, I'm talking in general, right? Let's say again, I wouldn't know. I haven't been to Japan and China. Is the feminism is poisoning them. So uh Ch- Japan, Korea, China, feminism has poisoned them. Now I
Right.
believe
So I mean, I
any.
wouldn't even say it's modern Western women. I mean,
Well, but here's the thing,
outside of okay, go ahead.
how I see is that it's the Western ideology, right? Feminism is Western ideology, right? It
Okay.
didn't get birth. It wasn't born in Japan or Korea and all that stuff. It was birthed in the West, and it migrated and influenced other countries. But why I say that it's still a modern day Western ideology, right? Feminism, it's still a modern day Western ideology. Now, any country that hasn't really been overtaken by feminism would what I would say don't qualify for my topic.
Okay, then. No, that makes sense. Yeah, any country that hasn't been completely influenced by like our Hollywood, our mentality. Okay, that hasn't been completely saturated with our culture of Hollywoodish. Okay, would not apply. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing where I would say certain countries where I'm not, because again I'm not like a worldly traveler, so I don't know
Well,
how
'cause
how
I mean, I'm just speaking. On this side of the world. It's not better. And when I speak to friends in Japan and who are American, and I speak to friends who are Japanese. When I speak to friends who are the women there are the system is just as bad. And
Mhm,
outside of Arab countries, probably like Muslim countries, they're the only ones that are actually doing marriage where it lasts like a lifetime in the family and the whole nine.
mhm.
Everywhere else, it's not working. So that's why I would say instead of just saying modern Western women, it's damn near to say women.
Well, I mean, let me for why I go for the Western women is like I think it's the ideology. I wouldn't say women completely because again, there are women out there that would value tradition, would be submissive, would be they don't have the
Do they
insane
value that
standard.
for a lifetime? And
Mhm,
I say no.
mhm,
No, when you look at the reports of great divorces that are happening on a global scale, I
mm,
say it's all a big farce. I
uh,
think women in general don't want it for a lifetime.
mm. No, no. I mean, I don't. I wouldn't. Again, I'm not saying I'm a world traveler, so I don't know how much it has poisoned the rest of the world. But again, I've said this before, where I always believe that feminism is poison. So
Dude,
I've said
you
this
should check
where
out the channel The Chinese Historian. I think I told you
I
about it before.
no, no, no. Yeah, I have done some videos on how what's happening in China. So I definitely, I'm definitely not saying that China is not part of. Again, I get it, right? I'm more talking about modern Western ideology, not necessarily just Western women, but I mean they are
Okay.
they are the source, right? They are the model that let's say the rest of the world models their delusional feminist ideology from. So that's where I'm talking about.
Okay, because I mean, I just say
How is it in
for us as
Germany?
men, we just got to look at the country because if the women have the rights to degrade men in that country or in that culture,
Hmm.
more
Hmm.
than likely they're going to abuse it. So
Yes.
it's not about trying to say like, oh, which women are better. It's about trying to figure out which countries don't believe their bullshit the best.
Hmm.
Like which countries operate in logic when you have accusations. Which countries do you actually have a fighting chance to, so I think it's because I think from now on, the way that things are looking, women are going to abuse what they're giving to as weapons, and
Hmm. Hmm.
it seems like on a global scale, women are given more and more weapons to weaponize against men.
Hmm. Hmm. I agree. I agree. How what is it like in Germany?
As far as
Like, let's say the feminist, like what I'm like, what we're kind of talking
oh,
about tonight.
they're more feminist here than I would say in America because it's like
Really?
some very strange thing because they lost the war in World
Mhm.
War II that like the women felt like they had to like stand strong while and since so many men died, they took over the society and held up Germany and they never gave it back in a strange way. So
Mm,
women in Germany are extremely masculine and like when it comes to
really?
actually being in relationships and yeah, they're not feminine like at
Wow.
like feminine in nature type, know how to be a muse. No, they're very orderly, very structured, very. These are the rules.
Mm, mm. What made you attracted to the woman you got attracted to that got you over there?
She had one of them sexy diamond in her teeth, and blonde hair, and a big butt, and great green eyes, and I mean, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, just,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then it was all good until I came here to Germany, and that's when that her attitude kind of changed a bit. But I
Really?
was already, you know,
Uh-huh.
in,
Uh-huh.
and I knew no matter what, that if the relationship didn't work, that I would have a 50-50 custody with my children without
Yeah.
having to pay or fight for it. So I knew
Mm,
this before even coming here to really
really?
start dating her.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, like again, I have been watching a few videos from China with it, so I seen like this is the thing where why I said this, right? Why I said they should stay single forever because honestly, feminism have made women unbearable, right? It has made women unbearable. It has made women incapable of honestly being able to what is it? Maybe compromise with men, maybe cohabitate with men, be a good match for men. Feminism have made women a terrible match for men, right? Mentally, feminism has poisoned so many women that just made them unbearable. So again, this is why I believe that, um, and I support it, right? No misogyny, no sarcasm whatsoever. I support these women, right? If this is the mentality you have, no matter where you are, right? The West, China, Japan, Korea, just stay single for the rest of your life because honestly, you're unfit. You are unfit to actually be in a long term relationship with men.
I think that's actually a very logical state of thought. Like if you were trying, if you're trying to like create a new government or like a
Mm,
like a perfect government, and you were really trying to like really impact in a positive way the majority of your people, you would
mhm,
sit back and look and say, well, the women of our country, they're not marriage material. So we
mhm,
need to maybe not be putting money towards a war. We need to be putting our money back towards our infrastructure to support these women who don't have partners. That would be the logical, robotic AI thing. Like, okay, if you want a functioning, infrastructure in your country, bring the money and put it into the women and just let them start circulating and spending money for your economy, blah 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 blah, boom. Because um, unless you're trying to make money in an evil way, where the women are taking it from the men through marriage and divorcing,
mhm,
uh, the right way to do it is just to go ahead and have the government implement its own money back into those women and just saying, look, you guys are not going to hurt our men and keep destroying them and doing all this other stuff. So we're just going to go ahead and pay you to just be, and boom, problem solved. You don't need to trick men for money. You don't need to. We're going to go ahead and just give every woman in our country a $5,000 a month stipend. Boom.
I mean,
then I think women in general would be single for the rest of the. I think if that was the case, I think if that was on the table, majority of women would not marry for any reason. They wouldn't, because they have what they would have what they want. Do you agree or disagree?
Here's my thing where I disagree, and where I don't believe that the government should do any incentives, right? I believe that, again, this is part of feminism, right? You think you're equal to men. You think you can, compete with men on on the same playing field. Okay, well then stay single, right? Work for the rest of your life. Focus on your job. I mean, like, I've seen so many videos, like, right, on my FYP, my pages, where you see women, they have jobs just like men, or they're making money just as much as men. They are, all this degree, right? I mean, we get so many talks about black women having the most degree ever, all this stuff. So okay, then focus on work, focus on your work, focus on yourself, and that's it, right? I mean, I don't believe the government should incentivize women for anything, because again, it's your choices, right? Be accountable.
I'm
Right?
saying if it was a logical government, if there wasn't any wars going on in the planet, if there wasn't like $1 trillion thing with weapons over this infrastructure and the world, if all of that was gone and the money was instead going back into the government and the infrastructure, that's why I said, like, in a perfect scenario, then the government should be, the government would then in that situation support everybody, men and women would have a stipend.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of like you would see, that's what I'm saying. But since that's not the reality, women do try to marry us because we are their retirement. Divorcing us is their retirement.
That's true. That's true.
And once you kind of see that on a global, it's the same thing on a global scale. Either they deal with us and give us hell in old age, or they divorce us. And either way, it's a degradation at the end of your life.
Well, here's the thing where, I mean, I don't disagree, right? I don't disagree in a sense, but I do see a changing of the tides, right? I see more men just walking away. I mean, you are an example of it too, where, you've said that, you pretty much just staying single, you walking away, you just focus on your kids, focus on yourself. And I think, more men.
No. I date, but I just don't tell women that I'm ever going to, because I'm in a dating city. And I think that when you're in this hookup culture, this is why it's important when people like, what are you dating for? Are you dating to get married? Or are you dating to get good energy? Are you dating to, get good feelings and sexual play? And I think once you're just that honest about it, then it's okay. And there's some women you meet that you just got, good energy with, and you link up at the bar every few weeks, or you, and I think that that's what's going to be the norm. I think people are going to stop lying and saying they're dating for marriage. And even if you date for a few months, fine. But I think, I don't know if I'm one of those men like saying I'm staying single, or I'm one of those men going my own way. Like, no, I enjoy the hell out of women just for about a 3-month span.
But see right there, right?
And then after about 3 months, you're kind of like, okay,
and I get it, right? And this is the thing where, let me say this. This is, I said this is one of the things where you are an example of it. This is the thing where I said this, why modern Western ideology, thanks to women, they should stay single forever. Because honestly, because of women, hookup culture.
But that means men should stay single forever as well, then, sir.
No, but here's my thing where you are seeing
everybody should stay single.
No, I in my honest opinion, I don't.
So you think some men should get married?
I do.
But you think that so you think Western men should be married, but Western women shouldn't?
Yes. Because again,
so who should those Western men marry?
Women that are not affected by Western ideology.
So where would those Western men go to marry those women?
I mean, like, I don't know. Again, I'm not. Well,
You
because
gotta
here's the
have
thing.
that answer, man.
Well, no, because here's the thing where like I've said this where I'm not necessarily prescribing people anything. So I don't know. Let's say this hypothetically. Uh, I don't believe Vietnam is being necessarily poisoned by feminist ideology. I don't think Colombia or necessary parts of Africa are being poisoned by feminist ideology. There, I mean, again,
You
this
do
world
realize
is
you might be wrong, right?
again. This is the thing where the point is travel. I mean, explore the world. I'm not
Yeah.
telling men to stay in one space, one spot, and then just die there. Right? That's not what I mean. So
Uh,
my
I
thing is
would
that
say just tell them not to get married in the first place,
because
and then
because here's the
problem
thing.
solved. Instead of trying to go to Rwanda and hope that you find some like just
Well,
skip marriage in general.
no, but see where you got to think about is the difference is that you got to be honest that most men, let's say, are not like you. Most men don't have play like that. Where okay, let's say
It doesn't
I don't
matter
know.
if they
I'm
have
not saying
play or
for this
not.
to
They
you,
can
but
still
let's say
decide not to get married.
But let's say this: most men's studies have shown that men are more happy in long-term committed relationships.
That
Right? Studies
study's
have
wrong.
shown.
Then I don't care. I've
Well,
talked to enough men in my lifetime as a bartender to realize that when they are in relationships long term, they are not happy.
I mean,
I don't know what study said that they are. I vehemently disagree.
well, I
And I'll
mean,
say the same thing about women. I think when women are in relationships long term, they're not happy. When they really start to drink and tell the truth, they are not happy. In fact, most of them don't even like their kids.
I
Most
don't.
parents, their middle teenage to almost adult children at all. They just tolerate them because they made them. The things you
I,
find out when people are drinking are absolutely dark but truthful. And in reality, whew, on a global scale, forget which culture, forget which race, when it comes to longevity in a relationship and marriage, neither side is happy.
I, I mean, here's my thing where I'm not. I mean, at the end of the day, those. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong, but I also think that most men don't have easy access to women. Okay. Most men don't have continuous easy access to women. So it's usually in long term relationships where men do have access to women. Most men don't have the charm, the looks, the wealth, the whatever that can attract women on a consistent basis. Most men don't have that. I honestly don't believe that most men are able to, let's say, live a lifelong a lifelong bachelor's life and be, in my honest opinion, um, be fulfilled romantically or physically. Now, if you want to, there are plenty of men that just want to live alone and disconnect from women altogether. Okay, but I don't believe that's the majority of men. Either or.
So maybe the difference is over here, you can just go to Netherlands and get laid if you want to. Whether in America, it's still somewhat illegal. And the only way to maybe the only other option is self pleasure or do it or pay for it. So
Mm-hmm.
for the guy that you know what, I think that actually probably is the biggest difference because there's so many men here that they just don't get married and they still get sex. And if they really are jonesing for it, they can get a good looking woman in Amsterdam or even here. They have it here in Berlin as well. So I guess because it's not shunned over here, there's so many more men who are single and bachelors and making money, and it's perfectly fine, and they're happy.
I mean,
They're really happy. And versus in
yeah.
America, maybe because you have to do it illegally, and those men don't want to do it illegally, they end up getting into going months and months without any type of sexual play and pleasure from a woman.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe society would be different, right? Maybe society would be different like you said, I mean,
I wouldn't even say maybe. I know. I would say. I would say absolutely it would be different.
I mean, again, I don't know. I don't live in that kind of environment, so
Well, just
I can't.
imagine.
I mean,
Imagine if prostitution was legal in America. How much would that change the game?
I mean, like again, I don't discredit it. I think you are correct. It would change the game drastically.
If prostitution was legal in America, do you think that average men in America would even want to get married?
Probably not. I mean, yeah,
Exactly.
probably not. I mean, I do agree that you know, uh, men get married for access to women. So I don't I do agree. And if
You can't even say that men get married for legacy and children, because most men end up breaking up with the woman they have children with, and they definitely don't have any agency of that legacy.
well,
So you can't even say that men get married for family.
well, I mean, I don't know if I say that because I
Why
mean most
can't you say,
divorces are
on a global
because
scale, 85% of men end up breaking up with the woman they had children with?
I don't think is that
Fam, that is real. Most children born are not, even if they are married when they're born, they do not get to grow old and see like that person grow old as like, oh, we 80 years old together. It
well,
rarely happens
well, I mean
the way that
the
we
thing
think
is
it happens. Most, this is going to sound messed up, but on a global scale, do you think that most people actually even love and like their fathers?
well, well there could be other reasonings to it.
Say it
You
again.
can't there could be other reasonings for it.
I know. I'm just asking on a base scale. Do you think that on a global scale, 50%, 60% people love and like their fathers, or do you think that most fathers in general are kind of like, psh, it's whatever?
I don't really have a basis for that, right? I don't.
I'm not asking for base. I'm just asking for creative thinking. Like, what do
Well,
you think?
well,
The image of fathers on a global scale. Think about people you talk. Think about maybe your cousins. Think about think about things that. Uh, how do you think that people really feel about their fathers? Which is why I tell fathers over here, we got to father differently. When I coach when I coach co-parenting, I break it down and say, look, really look at it. People don't give a shit about their fathers. White community, black community, people don't get. You got to spend time with your kids. It's not about
I
all these
agree.
possessions, because it doesn't matter.
I agree. I agree. I
We have to
definitely
father
agree.
differently, because when you really think about it, most people don't give a shit about their fathers. They might
Uh,
love them, they don't like them, so they do it out of respect at best. But to like love and like we're fighting, the kids are fighting over who gets him in an old age, not like who gets to have them. Like it's your turn to take them. Like, but they're fighting over who gets them. Like, no, I want him. I want him. No, I want him. Like that type of love that you see in some places in the Asian community, which is why a lot of passport bros are moving to Vietnam and Thailand, because that sort of treatment is given to the elderly men there.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Which is
I
like
do know.
they think the passport bros are going there just to get laid. It's like, no. There's a culture there that treats the elderly in a way that elderly people are not treated in America.
No,
Whether you're white, black, or whatever, when you're not working and not producing, oh, they don't give a shit about you.
no, I agree. I
And
agree.
that's the culture.
No, that's true. That's true. I definitely.
You might
I'm
be
definitely
lucky if you
agree.
get put in a nursing home where they beat where the where the where the black girls and poor white girls are beating the shit out of you and stealing your shit.
Yeah. No,
Which is the reality.
yeah. No, I agree.
All so it's strange. We really no. This marriage shit doesn't work in a positive way for a lifetime. So we got to rethink how we move as men.
Yeah. No, no. But here's my thing where I have been seeing the change of the tide where there are stats where, let's say this in the US, black fathers are the most involved fathers out of all racial groups. And it's a growing percentage. There are percentages that are single father households are producing
That can't be true.
well.
No,
That
no, 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 no. Whatever statistic came up with that did some kind of magic work or jargon, because if you broke it down and really thought about it, it would be the Asian. No, it would be Asian fathers that would probably, because you don't see the Asian American community without fathers, and so if you logically did the numbers of it, and it was everybody, then no, percentage wise, it would be Asian.
well, there are more black people in
But
America.
it is. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about the numbers. It says I'm talking about percentage wise. You can't say that black men are the most involved, because one, the numbers wouldn't prove it because we're not the majority, and secondly, the percentage doesn't prove it, because our percentage, because most of us are born outside of marriage, so we might be involved as far as maybe we're paying child support. We might be involved as like maybe we see our kids every other weekend, but we're not involved fathers as far as like seeing your kids on a day-to-day basis, which is what fatherhood is supposed to be. So no, no, you can't. No, when black guys try to hold that, and I'm like, no, no, no. When you break it down, like, no, fatherhood is seeing your children at least 5 times a week on a day when they make mistakes, and you're there to actually course correct. It's not about getting an update from your baby mama, and then you try to tell your kids about how to be the right person and do the right thing. No, no, no. Fatherhood is you are there. So no, unless we are doing that, we cannot claim that we are the most involved fathers in America. No, it doesn't logically connect or make sense. It just makes you feel good.
Let's see. I mean,
Does that not make sense?
I, it's not like I don't see the sense in what you're saying. Again, I mean, I'm not doing the studies in this, right?
Right.
I don't know how they're comparing certain things.
I mean, I just logically broke it down. Like, doesn't that make sense?
Let's see. I'm trying to see where.
Or you got to get it from a study. You know? Okay.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, anecdotal, anecdotal opinions doesn't necessarily equal everyone or the majority. So
I mean, that's why I don't spout out, like, when you hear those buzzwords, you got to break them down, like in those buzz phrases, like when black women are the most educated. Like, no, no, they're not.
no,
When
I
you
know.
really, like,
I
and,
looked
and
into it.
even
They're
when
not.
people say like that they're the most enrolled, like they're the most enrolled, but are they getting the best outcomes out of those enrollments? Because I mean, you can also look at Asian women also are like almost what in the 30 percentile in that. So Asian women also dominate in enrollment and graduation. The only thing
Yeah.
is they're just doing it with more black women. But when you look at the percentages of success, it's completely different. And okay, enroll and graduated for what outcome and what degree? Okay, and then did that accumulate them into more debt or in positive? Ooh,
Well,
no, it actually made them in negative. So is that a flex? This is the group of women that incurred the most debt through higher education and higher learning, and they're still paying it off 10 to 15 years later, asking for forgiveness. Is that a
okay.
flex?
Well,
when
so
when
for
when
them,
when the Asian community women have already paid back their degrees within 5 years, maybe. So I mean, when you really look at things, like what are they bragging about?
no, I agree. I looked into it. They're just the most enrolled out of all women's of the past, black women of the past. It's
You
just
said
compared.
most enrolled, correct?
Yeah, but you're
Okay, now
comparing it
now what
again.
about graduated?
No, well, that yeah, I've heard that the graduation levels aren't as equal. So, okay, the study said yes. Studies show that black fathers are frequently more involved in their children's daily care, activities, homework compared to fathers of other racial groups, even though stereotypes suggest opposite. While black fathers have higher rates of living apart from their children, their involvement levels with children they don't live with are similar to or higher than other racial groups in similar situations, often achieved through visitations rather than cohabitation. So I think they're comparing it
So
to
they're saying that black
like
fathers are
from
the
like.
best are the best baby daddies out of all other
Baby
like
daddy.
like like
Situation apples to apples.
we know how to do this co-parenting shit better than anyone else. Because
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that
I guess that's a flex in a weird way.
it's a flex in a weird way. I mean,
And
yeah,
we got this baby daddy shit on lock. Y'all need to come learn from us. We know how to.
truthfully, yeah, you're right. I mean, if you dig in deep, you have to understand the wordings underneath it because, yeah, they probably have the least. I mean, yeah, they do have the least amount of marriages and families. So I wouldn't say they, are more involved when you compare it to, let's say, you know, apples to oranges. Like, but and this is like, they are the most involved out of all other different kind of baby daddies. So yeah,
I can't even
yeah.
argue with it as I'm literally coaching co-parenting on this side of the world. So I
I
can't
mean,
even say no, that's not true. And I'm literally doing that. So yeah,
and
I'm a
yeah, you
I'm
prove
a
that you
baby
are.
daddy
Yeah,
who's teaching. So
yeah.
okay.
I
Teaching
mean,
people teaching other baby daddies how to be baby daddies. So yeah.
yeah,
If
yeah,
there was a debate there, like if we were debating, like you knocked me out with that one. So yeah, you're absolutely correct.
yeah. But I mean, you are right that you have to dig in deeper. It's like apples to apples. These are non cohabitating fathers. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
but probably that is a lower percentage out of all other fathers. So
Right. But if I thought about day to day fathers and like day to day fatherhood, I mean, and we're thinking about America. I
uh-huh.
mean, I know there's so many, single moms who are white. I know there's so many single moms who are black. I've
Hmm.
rarely seen single moms who are Asian.
No, yeah.
I've rarely seen single moms who were Arab. And so if you're thinking about percentages of that, those fathers, I would say in that community, the percentage would have to be much higher
Well, I think
because they're doing the day to day, like
yeah,
the
I
day
think
to day fatherhood. Like I wonder which group of people or which race of people in America is doing that the best.
well, I mean, yeah, Asian Americans have the highest marriage rate out of all racial groups. So
Okay,
yeah, fathers are in the household. So, but
or
yeah, I
they're not in
mean,
the house. I mean, they're not in the households; they're working. But
yeah, I mean, they're part of the yeah.
you know,
Uh huh.
no, I mean it's fucked up because that's what the self sacrifice they kind of propagate Asian men into the whole killing yourself, and sorry, ending yourself, in your media and
Mm,
working yourself to death the same way they kind of do with the John Henry story, for in Black Americans when we were kids. They've
yeah.
done the same thing for you all, and like it's the self sacrifice, even in that series Shogun, right? That new one that just came out. It was
Uh huh. Uh huh.
they romanticize eyed. I'm not saying the word because it's used, but they romanticize it in Asian culture, and they propagate that to you guys. And I don't know why. Yeah, I think
Uh huh.
it's not great for the self esteem. I would assume, for
No, I'm definitely very
because I mean,
anti.
have you ever thought about? Have you ever noticed that in your media that they always kind of propagate that to you, whereas in other cultures you never really see that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm very anti that. I'm a very anti just all the stereotypes. Or I think Asian people don't. They're not crazy about always pushing the stereotypes or the generic things about Asian culture.
Right, but I'm speaking about like from the media that comes out of Asian. I'm not speaking about Asian culture from like Hollywood, that kind of media.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about Asian culture that comes out of Japan and comes out of China is very self-sacrificing. If
Oh,
you're a
uh-huh.
man, um,
Yeah.
for the woman, for this woman, even in anime, a lot of it's very. Oh, I'm in love with this woman who I shouldn't be in love with, or who's just a chick, and I'm going to sacrifice myself for her just
Yeah.
because.
Yeah. It's
It's like, hmm,
uh it's I mean, again, I guess that's part of the Disney fairy tale, of men's duties. And again, I think that it's a very fanciful or very romantic idea, but it's I think it's slowly dying, right? Because
oh
my,
no
my
no no,
topic,
these anime chicks are getting crazy. When you date chicks, man, you gotta ask them which kind of anime they like to find out what kind of man they think you want to. I'm telling you, you gotta.
no,
We have to
no,
start
yeah,
dating
yeah,
different, man. We got to start asking the different questions because, like, when she's telling you, oh, oh, I love, was some great was this one chick telling me she loved My Hero, right? And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And I start asking like which
ah,
character she likes, and I'm like, wait, that dude, like the dude who. So it's like you got to find out which crushes they have, and
uh-huh, uh-huh,
they really expect men to sacrifice themselves for no reason,
yeah, yeah, no,
just because, like yeah, no, yeah, the Demon Slayer chicks, yeah, big red flags, big red flags.
no, you know what? I didn't think about that. Now I'm gonna have to think about that more.
Yeah,
I didn't think
we should do like a tier list one day and like red flag, like for women
what.
when women like this anime,
Uh,
is it a
uh,
red
uh-huh,
flag,
uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
why? Like, oh,
Yeah.
this chick has uh, who's Sasuke's brother? She
Hmm.
has a crush on him. Red flag. That's a red flag. There's some issues if you have a crush on him. You know,
I agree. I agree.
It'd be the
So
same way
girl,
if she has if she has that white Jesus crush, which
white
I see
Jesus.
here in Germany a lot with African women. Like, no,
Really?
they have this ideology of this white Jesus perfect man, and I'm not competing
Ah.
with that.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah,
Really? That's interesting. Do you see is there a lot of black women in Germany?
yeah,
Oh,
ton.
really? Oh, okay.
I'm in
Okay.
Berlin. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
there's
Berlin, a major city. Okay, yeah, makes
yeah,
sense. Major city. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Well, I mean, I think that's it.
there's a lot
That's
of
it for
Asian
tonight.
women actually in
Right?
Berlin too. Like,
Is
no
there?
bullshit. Yeah,
Really?
I,
I
I
guess those are major cities for
my
you.
friend who's going to school out here, he says it's actually, and I actually would agree with him. He says the best thing would be to date. He's Japanese. He said to
Uh,
date a Japanese woman, not in Japan but out here, and marry a Japanese woman, not in Japan but out here, because
uh-huh.
he doesn't want to be under the Japanese, family court shit and all. He said the smart thing would be for me and her to get married here, but never do it under documentation in Japan. And I was thinking,
Mm,
I was like, I, that would make sense for me as well. I would marry an American woman over here to get the benefits, but
mm,
I would not ever get married in America and be under subjugation under their family court. Or I would have
uh-huh.
children with a woman over here and
Oh,
have but there's no way that I would do it in America.
mm-hmm. That's interesting.
So if you, maybe you can find your dream Asian American in Germany. Or you know what I mean? Like,
but
so that makes your parents happy. It makes you make everybody happy.
but see, that's the thing where I promote men travel. Please,
Yeah.
I mean, we can't be sticking in one place because then we don't realize what's happening in the world. We don't realize that the world is bigger than just our little communities. So I definitely promote men to travel more.
I definitely would say you would definitely enjoy Berlin and definitely enjoy Amsterdam.
Really, that's interesting. You know, I
And
was like, I
yeah,
don't know if you saw my last couple lives on my other channel. Um, I've been saying because I just recently hit 5K on it. I said that if that channel can hit 10K, I definitely want to do a get the community together over that channel because it's a bit of a stronger tight community over there. That I think a whole bunch of us should do a trip together. So maybe Germany or Berlin or Amsterdam. That would be fun.
I always recommend it. So many of the passport bros always like, oh, Colombia, Dominican Republic. I'm like, you guys, there's a whole side of this world that you guys are missing.
Mm,
And
I
it's
love
one
that.
thing to go to those countries in DR and Colombia and you find you're frolicking with women, but you
Mm-hmm.
can come over here, meet women, but also get opportunities to make money because
Mm,
we keep forgetting that our culture is the most consumed on a global scale. And for
mm-hmm.
us to come into here and you bring some of your art and creativity and some of your ideas and some of your humor, and you can
Mm,
inject that into so many different places and make money for yourself
mm,
just by you having a memory of funny things of America that they don't know about, just by you being programmed in this American culture and society, you can come here and impart your knowledge into it to other people who will then turn it into something else.
mm-hmm.
Like it, people really don't understand how to market and just make money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not that difficult if you have creativity and you know how
Mm-hmm.
to articulate yourself in a way and be able to network a little bit. Doesn't mean you have to be an extrovert. You know, I'm not. I can be, but
Uh-huh.
as long as you know how to have a conversation and get your point across in a way that is pretty jovial and pretty funny at the same time, pretty smart, you'll do perfectly fine here.
Mm, mm. That's
Make your
interesting.
stories wrap up between point A to B pretty quickly, you know, and that's it.
Mm. That's interesting. We gotta give those more thought. We gotta give them more
I'm
thought.
glad I planted the seed.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for man. Thank you for being here, man, my brother.
Yeah, thank you for always having these conversations and trying, and thank you for always being willing to have different
Yeah.
types of conversations.
I love it.
And again,
Yeah.
I look forward to, and maybe I'll speak to some female friends that I have here and see if we can schedule a conversation because I think it's important that we start having these kind of conversations back and
Mm.
forth with women who also want solutions
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not so much women who are like confused by our points and what do you
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's very important. That's why I think it's good to date women who have brothers who have kind of
Mm.
gone through some shit with this
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
and then they have a different type of empathy, you know. So
Uh-huh.
I think we need to have the conversations with those types of women who have seen their brothers try to be fathers and go through all this weird shit through,
Oh,
and
that's exactly
yeah,
that is true. Those women think
yeah,
differently.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. I love you, my brother. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And again, kick ass. Winter's coming. You know, puts
All
put some UV lights in your place. Get some vitamin D in there. Get your
right. Yeah.
oranges.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
All right.
time.
All
All right,
right.
take care of yourself, man.
Later, my man.
Peace.
All right. I mean, I think that's it. I don't know. Like I said, I had a live stream early on today with this topic, and there were more. I don't know. There was more people who wanted to have a conversation, but I don't know. I guess not tonight or not right now. Maybe it was different because it was mobile. Maybe it was different. But yeah, it is what it is. I may try this topic, again some other way. So we'll see. All right, later, guys.